Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and we're in the data center today. It's been a while. It has been summer and I haven't really felt like doing too many server videos. So the last one was just cleaning out this old server that was in here, kind of a DIY server that, well, hadn't touched it for like 6 years. Well, I might have moved it once, but I got rid of it, made a new home, I hope. And went to Sealand here in Denmark, I believe, maybe, I forget. But today I have another video that I want to do. Behind me we see a box, and this is a box containing a 10 terabyte SAS hard drive. This has failed in a server at work. I went down and replaced the disk with a spare part sent from this is a Hewlett-Packard server, so Hewlett-Packard sent me a new drive, and I replaced that, and I put the old one in the box, and I'm ready to ship back as it usually goes. But they didn't want it back. We have something new here because of all this GDPR data thing. Well, it's kind of called your device, your data, which means that when a spare part that can contain data fails, you get to keep it so that Hewlett-Packard is not liable for the data, and yeah, so on. I actually know that this server isn't really in production yet. The hard drive failed before ever getting there, which is of course a shame, but well, in this case it's helpful because I'm sure there is no usable data on it, so it might have been formatted. I might even go and format it again, but it might also be stone dead because I didn't check. I replaced the drive and I put in a new drive, put the old one in the box. Usually I don't mess with whatever went wrong. It's a replacement, you just replace it and then everybody is happy most of the time. But today I thought, let's try out this drive. It's a 10 terabyte, it's kind of cool. So I had these old IBM/Lenovo x3650 model 1s up here, and well, they can only handle 2 terabyte with the built-in RAID controller they have, but we could put in another RAID controller and have them see a 10 terabyte hard drive, I hope. So that's what we're gonna try today. We're gonna take the drive out of this box again, put it in the older IBM server up here, replace the RAID controller. I have a bunch of those RAID controllers laying around somewhere, and let's see how dead that drive is. So I took it out of the box. There is nothing abnormal with a drive failing. I have purchased a bunch of these drives. This is from July 2018. Let's see, I have bought 320 of these drives I bought, and I think 2, including this one, has needed replacement. I just bought another 100 of them, so but they haven't gotten to me yet. So yeah, we're gonna take this out of the tray. This looks yeah, this tray will actually go directly into my Hewlett-Packard box down there, the DAS that I'm struggling with, yeah, and that's because it also came out of one of those boxes. So I'm gonna keep the tray because it has really good writing on it for this. It's a SAS MDL, like the middle range. It's not completely enterprise thinky. Here is kind of the numbers of it. 7200 RPMs, 10 terabyte, made in Thailand, and I do believe that this is it's an Hitachi drive, so a Western Digital essentially. I'm gonna be using this server for this test. Yeah, it has a label. It's been a while since it has had ESXi on there, I believe. But I took one of the drives out, it's down here, and I can see that this is one of the drives that Sasha from the UK sent me. It's a 1 terabyte drive, and I tried to format this, and well, I think I did a low-level format, and that worked great. Came out of a Hewlett-Packard storage box, and this is a SATA drive. You can kind of see that on the connection here. There is a hole between these two, whereas if it's a SAS drive, they have removed that hole. It's filled up. So that makes that you're not able to put this SAS drive into a SATA connector, but you can put a SATA drive into a SAS connector. So yeah, we're gonna swap those around. This is also a 12 gigabit SAS drive. It's only the third drive that I own. I actually got two 300 gigabyte drives for my Lenovo x3650 Model 5 over here when I got that, just so that I could get up and running. But this is also a 12 gigabyte per second hard drive. So let's see if we can pop that in. It goes in very nice. So I'm gonna go around the back and we're gonna disconnect the server and we'll have a look inside. We need to replace that RAID controller. So it's been a while since we have had a peek into the Awesome IBM / Lenovo x3650 Model 1, which is built like a tank. It's from back when they did it right. One-handed, it's not great. Stuffed with good stuff. Okay, so here we are inside of the M1. I've removed some pieces. Right now they're up here on top of the rack because, well, down here we have the management adapter, have some PCI Express ports. We also have kind of, yeah, you can kind of see it. We have a SAS connector right down there. We're not going to be using that right now, but over here we have the RAID controller, and the RAID controller, it has this battery backup which is located right there, lithium ion, I believe. Yeah, lithium ion battery pack, and yeah, I've never seen one of those go bad yet. But it has this RAID controller here, and that RAID controller is connected to this plug on the system board. This is an extended one. It's one of the good ones. It can do different rates. The very standard one can just do RAID 0 and RAID, I forget. But it goes over here. So this connector is normally just for hard drives that you can run off one of these, but it goes over here to the back plane of the hard drives. And there are 6 hard drives in a server like this. So this is actually also a SAS expander of some sort. It goes from 4 to 6, so yeah, it's doing something. But we will replace that and put another RAID card in. I don't know if we should put it in one of these slots or if we should just, well, it has this very nice riser card here with a couple of slots as well there, so it can go in there, or it can go in one of these 2 slots down here. Let's see what we find. Okay, here is the RAID controller that I'm going to be using. It's an LSI RAID controller. I do have a brand new one here. Never been out of the, well, it might have, I don't know, but it's the same one. This is just hasn't gotten the battery mounted and stuff, but otherwise it should be exactly the same, except I believe this one has been firmware upgraded, data upgraded. So if I use this one, I don't have to do as much, hopefully. I'll put on this bracket and we'll put it in the slots that is upright. So I need to steal some screws from this one over here. I'll borrow those. Not that long ago I upgraded 2 Hewlett-Packard servers from having 8 internal drives to having 24 internal drives, and there's a kit when you do that, and it comes with a bunch of cables like this. So yeah, I'm the kind of person that I don't throw out stuff like that, because, well, next thing you know it, you're gonna need a cable like that. And yeah, there was a lot of good cables. A lot of these are specialized for other purposes, but I do see something. I think this one is gonna do us great. It's a nice long cable, so yeah, we're gonna try and use that. Okay, I have fitted the RAID card over here. Might not have mentioned this. This is a RAID card from an x3650 Model 3. It's the M5015. Might have forgotten to say that, but it's a really good RAID card. So, and I kind of like that one. So I put the cable in here. It's actually ever so slightly too short, but I think I can manage and put it somewhere just over here. I've disconnected the other one. I'm not gonna take it out because, well, I'm just gonna test this, play with it, and then I might, well, switch this back on. So that would be irritating to take that out and have to put it back in again. So yeah, it's still there. So I'm gonna try and fit everything, and I'll let you know how that went. So it comes out there and it goes in here. It kind of goes over the RAM in there. It's not optimal, but I don't think it's gonna hurt any. Then it comes out here. I have this riser card that is really long, so there is not many options to get it over here. I could maybe have gone through this hole, but yeah, then it's gonna just be a mess if I want to take this out, and I have to, well, disconnect everything, and then it goes over here. It could be a lot worse, so I'm gonna check if I can put the fan assembly back down, otherwise I will surely run into problems there. Okay, fan assembly did go in, and now there is only proof of it because this cable goes over here. It looks like it goes into the CPU. It does not, but yeah, this has become a bit dusty. I see that. I should have had, I really need an air compressor out here. That would be neat to just have an air compressor outtake. But yeah, ready to put on the LED and connect this to power. Okay, I have powered this, put it back in and put in the plugs and stuff. So we're gonna try and turn it on. And it's a bit noisy when it just starts. I have connected the screen as well, so if we are lucky, something will pop up. I want to go in and configure that RAID controller, and what I've found is that very often that doesn't really want to work with the mouse here on my keyboard here, so we're gonna plug in an external mouse so that we're ready to go. And it's booting. DDR1 RAM, it claims. IBM system, the Awesome 5450 processor, 3 GHz. Yeah, these are the original processors. This one isn't upgraded. I believe the top one up there has newer processors. Curious to how we get into the RAID controller on this one. I forget, Control A. That might be the old one. We'll have to check that. Seems that might have been the new one, and then the old one pops up here because that's a ServerRAID 8K there. So that might be the M5015 that was up there, so that might be good. Down here it kind of complains that it just wasted 30 seconds. But we got into the old one. That's the old one for sure. And it's probably not able to see anything. Initialize, no, nothing. I'll try this again and see if I can get into the other one. BIOS installed. Yeah, there we have some Mega RAID and C to load the configuration. Y. See if we get into that. Cross your fingers. It sees that we added something in PCI slot number 3, and we did. That is the slot where we added that. Yes, we're in. Cool. Let's see what we see. Start. Let's see if this mouse wanna operate with me. Oh, and it sees the drive right away. Holy, that's almost boring. So we have the 1 terabyte and we have the 10 terabyte, and the 10 terabyte is just about 10 times as big, logically. And the 1 terabyte is a SATA drive, and the 10 terabyte is, we see it's connected to port 0 to 3, enclosure, blah 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 blah. That must be the SAS expander on the backplane of the server. Vendor, Hewlett Packard, revision, HPD5. The drive, yeah, up here it complains that this drive it's a 12 gigabit per second drive, so I believe that the backplane in this one is like 1.5, so we are for sure not getting the maximum out of that drive. Yeah, we can see it pretty clearly here. Maximum supported speed, well, 12 gigabits per second. Link speed 3 gigabits per second. So I was actually wrong, it's 3 gigabits per second on the backplane, but it's still awesome that it sees it. It's not completely dead then. There's enough life in it to play around with. Cool, let's go home. And both of them comes up as unconfigured goods, so that is good. The amount of data that we get here is not overwhelming. There's a little bit more there, 28 degrees Celsius, but well, our little stunt here is working out, so that's cool. Unconfigured goods, so there is most likely nothing on it. Okay, we have done this tons of times before. I'm gonna make a little array, which is not an array because it's just gonna be one disk. So we're just gonna go down here to the configuration wizard. Not as if there's other options to configure this from in here anyway. And we're gonna add a new configuration here. We're gonna make a new configuration and press Next. And that is also gonna clear whatever configuration was on those drives. It's not deleting anything, it's just telling it that now it's doing something else. So are you sure you want to clear? Yeah, I'm clear with that. Manual configuration is a good idea when you're just doing something like this. If you know exactly what you want and there is no data on any drives and you have 8 drives that you want to make into an array, well, this server can only handle 6, but yeah, if you have 6 drives and they are all just to become a RAID 5, you can go with the automatic one. But if there is data on the server and you could ruin that, go with the manual configuration. And now that we're just doing one drive, this redundancy when possible is no good. You have to pick no redundancy. And next. And here we get to pick the drive that we're going to be working with. We're going to pick that 10 terabyte and add to our array. That came over there. Mark that and accept. Now we're gonna go next. It's gonna make a disk group 1 for us. Then we add that to our span. This feels like double clicking and doing the same thing twice. I'm not a big fan of that. So let's see, we're gonna be making a RAID 1 as there is only one drive. Size, read write, normal, write back with DBU, cool, cache, disable, size. We're gonna, right now it's not seeing the drive over here, but it sees it down here. So if we update our size, it's gonna take those 9 terabytes and it's gonna put it over here. Update size. There, went over there. I've actually never had this big a drive in a server like this. The biggest drive I have had in this server was 8 terabytes. That meant that this server would be able to handle 48 terabytes. An old dog like this, it's like 13 years old, this server. But with these new 10 terabyte drives, it would be able to handle 60 terabytes. That would be awesome. So accept. There, and it tells us that there's a lot of stuff that you need to worry about. Yes, we worry about that. Next. And yes, it is possible to enable SAS caching on the following virtual drives, and then it lists nothing. Well, yeah, we're not gonna do that. It's because this firmware on this RAID controller is rather new. So if we were to install some SSD, that would be, I don't think this will be accepted as SSD caching on this system, but I really don't know. It would be a great idea to use something like that. So we have nothing. If we try to enable it, it would just complain and tell us that we didn't pick any. So cancel, So all data on the virtual will be, yes, initialized. There. This is just gonna go super fast, so cool. And we can now go home, and we will be able to see that we have a new array there. So what we have here is that we'll build a disk group. This one only contains one drive. In that disk group we have some virtual drives. We have just made one, but I could have made multiple virtual drives on this disk pool, and they would be listed down here. And in this disk pool we have the physical drives, and that's this one. I could probably also have added this one, even though it does not have the same size as the other. I don't know, maybe, not sure. We can probably go into the disk group, and we can kind of see that we can't do anything whatsoever, so it just tells us what we have. So home. So we kind of got to play with a lot of different stuff here. Awesome that this 10 terabyte drive kind of works. I do though have the problem that this is only 1 out of 3 SAS drives of that size that I have to play with. Normally, oh, you can't see that. The NAS up here uses SATA drives. Most of the other ones are 2.5 inch. I might have misspoken that. I have a lot of SAS drives. They're just usually all 2.5 inch hard drives. I really don't have many 3.5 inch hard drives. So yeah, it's 1 out of 3 of those. I do actually have a lot of SAS drives. They're just way smaller, 600 gigabyte. So at the moment I only have that one 10 terabyte drive in the SAS. Otherwise it would have been nice to put it up in the Synology NAS and play with it up there. But even then it probably failed for a good reason. I'm sure that Hewlett Packard don't enjoy swapping out the drives that they have sold. It might not be that trustworthy in the end. So, but to play with, it's awesome. So thank you very much for watching my videos, and to my patrons, remember to go over and watch the weekly Patreon video that I'm gonna be recording here in just a little while for your Sunday What's Up video. Do subscribe so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.